All right. So I'm working on it. I think we're good. Let me get my face tracking back. Sorry, I like totally screwed up something on my computer. Fortunately, I knew how to fix it right away. I installed a new hard drive on my computer and had to clone it and do all of this in real time. So, or sorry, not clone it and do all of it in real time while the computer is running, which is like a pain in the ass, to say the least. So, all right, that's back. Video's back. Video sound should be good. It looks like it's good on my end, but you guys let me know if something's off. We're gonna learn about wieners and the difference between hot dogs and hamburgers. Hope you guys are excited, or at least as a little bit excited. Half of the excitement of mine is enough. Sorry, I spent a week in a psychiatric ward. My brain's mush. They electrocuted my brain. I'm only joking about part of that. I'm sure someone who's never watched this channel before is like tuning in. They're like, "This chick is a fraud."
Tradition. You get them at ballparks.
Hey, hot dogs! You can just grab them and just go.
You can eat with your hands, you know, you can get messy. There's no rules to the game, you know. It's like,
You put the hot dog in whatever hole you want.
Hot dog shops is they've not become standardized and franchised across the country. They're still small and regional and unique. So get ready. We're gonna check out a few. From Macon, Georgia, to Chicago, Illinois, to Anchorage, Alaska. We'll sample dogs topped with all kinds of stuff.
I myself, I like it just like this, naked.
They're good.
Like this naked meat in his mouth.
Sauerkraut or just mustard? Ketchup. Ketchup.
I think most Americans grew up on hot dogs.
Eat an apple a day. I mean, it should be a hot dog a day.
Hell yeah, brother.
Look how good it look. 41 years old. What do you have?
We're gonna celebrate hot dogs and the people who love them, even though some folks have slight reservations.
Nobody can identify anything they put in these things.
I wouldn't say they're bad for people. I would say everything in
Look at the wiener gun.
5 days a week, that's fine. That's moderate.
Why'd they add the crunching noise?
Take my chances.
We're gonna call this a hot dog program. And we apologize in advance if we don't get to your favorite stand.
You know, you steam the bun, you steam the dog, and it's real soft, and it snaps with some chili. That's living.
Mmm. Good chili dogs. Good chili dogs are hard to find.
Program is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by annual financial support from viewers like you.
Yeah. You hear them? Viewers
now, where do
like
you get a good local hot dog? Let's say you're in Fairfield, Connecticut, where most mornings Gary Zamola parks this truck behind his father's lighting store. All its hand-painted signs, including the name Super Duper Weenie, were already on this 1973 GMC step van when Gary got it and fixed it up in the early 1990s.
There are times when I drive in that thing, and I could see people's lips inside their car, and they're going, and I'll stick my head out and say, you know what? It's funny, but you said it. You know, how can you deny? I read your lips. I said it's a great hot dog. How can you beat that?
If the truck is in its regular spot, Gary's assistant, Mike Yancic, says you want to take exit 24 off I-95.
I wonder if it's still there.
The highway right over there, and there's a truck facing them with a big hot dog on the side. And if they've been driving all day and they're hungry, it kind of sparks them. It gets their imagination going. They think about it and pull over.
They won't be disappointed. Gary studied at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, and takes pride in his 2 homemade relishes and his so-called killer dogs, with names like the New Yorker and the Chicagoan and the New Englander.
It's kraut, bacon, caraway, the sweet relish. That's how the New Englander started. It was just your basic dog with the works.
The dogs here are extraordinary, and the French fries.
Oh god, this is making me so hungry for hot dog.
One dog.
Everything's all like hand cooked. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. And the fries are the best.
They're awesome. I love my fries. You know, and a killer dog, and it looks like really good.
Oh, those fries look amazing.
Feedback that I get.
So good. My wife was in labor in the hospital with her second child. Left the hospital to come down and have a hot dog, and go back to the hospital to have the baby.
You're a horrible husband.
Serving hot dogs, what I consider 4-star hot dogs.
You go on your lunch break, you want to be relaxed. This is it's nice to relax. I'm sure there's traffic going by, but
He's got a great hot dog stand personality.
He's a great chef, not because he's my brother, but he's very good at what he does.
Gary will do just about anything for his
Pots the
customers.
Plume, you want to come
There
over
is
and
one
play
thing
hot
he won't
dog?
sell.
So many people come up to that truck, and they'll order the whole damn thing. The most loaded dogs you can get, New England or whatever they order. Order of fries. And then I hear diet soda, and the hair on the back of my neck goes up.
Diet soda is non-conducive to the times of the truck.
Diet doesn't exist here. You are here to splurge. You're here to relax, enjoy.
It's supposed to be like a, 40s, 50s lunch wagon, and diet soda didn't exist.
Well,
That's a
Gary's
good
dream has
stance to
always been
have.
open a diner. A great diner with food prepared with all the love and conviction that he puts into his super-duper weenies.
Passion is the key to this.
Oh.
If you don't dig what you're doing, you're dead.
I love this. I love working here, and I love the super-duper weenie.
And who could be happier, right? Most people are miserable at their jobs. So, I dig it. I totally dig it.
I play with wieners
A love
all
of the crazy
day.
work involved really helps, even at a big hot dog stand, like in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Varsity.
What do you have? What do you have? Put your money in your hand and your heart on your mind. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have?
The Varsity is an Atlanta landmark, founded in 1928 by the late Frank Gordy, who dropped
Oh,
out
he
of
looks like a
nearby
turkey
Georgia Tech.
vulture.
He made the Varsity famous for excellent hot dogs and unbeatable curb service. Big crowds on football weekends. You could go inside, but the Varsity was the world's largest drive-in.
Ladies did not come in the Varsity. Don't ask me why, but it was called the men's club. And if you brought a date, you were outside, or if you were with your family, you had curb service.
Nancy Sims, who is Frank Gordy's daughter, now owns and runs the place, where hot dogs with some southern variations are put together and sold at an incredible pace.
The hot dog is just boiled. We have special design steamers to keep our buns nice and light and fluffy, but not soggy.
You can get a dog here topped with specially made pimento cheese, and like most hot dog places in the South, the Varsity's got a superb slaw dog.
Ooh, that
This
sounds so
place's sales
good.
rate is phenomenal.
It's around 17,000 hot dogs a day. Georgia Tech football games, big concerts, we can serve up to 50,000. And more Coke than any single location in the world.
You can order at the counter or stay in your car because they've still got drive-in curb service. Either way, things move fast. And when you get to the front of the line, you better know what you want on your dog.
How do I eat them? I eat them naked. I eat them yellow.
I eat 2 when I get here,
And I eat them chili cheese slaw.
2 when I go on break, and 1 when I go home.
And I eat slaw. I eat them every way. I love them.
They are so good.
Oh, she loves it every way.
Yellow dog for breakfast.
Hell yeah.
Employees often stay here for decades, and the counter people all chant the signature question.
What do you have? Anybody want to place an order? Hi, sir. What do you have?
Some of the veteran cashiers are the best.
Come on, let's go down so we can get Irving.
Down at one end of the 50-yard-long counter, Irby Walker is in charge of the express line, and he often chants much of the menu.
This is Irving. Sing the menu for him, Irving. Sing the menu for him, Irving.
What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Have your money in your hand, all in your mind. Well, I can get you to the ball game on time. What kind of drink you want? Well, we got Cocoa Orange, Frosted Orange, Sweet No Buttermilk, Slid Bud, Miller's Pepper, Black and White, Coffee, Crab, Stroll, Light,
I can't even tell what he's saying.
Have your money in your hand, your order in your mind, where I can get you to the game on time. What do you have?
Yeah, what I'm talking about. What do you have? 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 What do you have?
There's 3 words you got to learn. learn. What do you have? What do you have? And just keep practicing over and over. It took me 10 years to get a job. I went home every night saying, what do you have? What do you have?
It doesn't matter what you have at the varsity when you've got a true counterculture and crazy cashiers. They make this big Atlanta hot dog stand unforgettable. And various factors can do that, including a little creative architecture.
Hot dog
If you travel
version.
out of Denver, Colorado,
Speaking
toward the
in
Pike National
tongues.
Forest, in Aspen Park, you have to stop at the Coney Island.
We drive by it going back and forth 285, and the 20-foot hot dog's hard to miss.
Yeah.
I bet I could take that.
I saw the building and said, wow, let's stop in for a hot dog.
You gotta love a building that looks like a giant hot dog.
It's 33 tons of concrete in the shape of an enormous wiener in a bun, topped with mustard and a mountain of relish. It was moved here in 1968.
Giant
from Denver.
wiener.
Karen Bott, whose mother owns the Coney Island, often works inside the giant weenie.
Every once in a while, you'll see somebody come in with this look on their face, and then you can remember what it felt like when you first came in, the big hot dog. It just feels unique, like you're in some little...
Yeah, do you want to come in the big hot dog?
The building is understandably long and narrow, and the perpetual line lets you know that the food must be good.
Regular, jumbo, footlong hot dogs.
Had one, a jumbo. Excellent hot dog.
Ketchup, mustard, relish onions. We have sauerkraut.
Was a sauerkraut kind of a day?
Chips and hot dogs.
I want a corn dog.
Chili,
Lucky
cheese.
bastard.
Mouth is watering, isn't it?
It tastes good.
I find everybody loves hot dogs that come in here. Even the vegetarians, I think, sometimes have a hard time resisting, or so it seems.
The dogs are irresistible, the building is cool, and the name Coney Island conjures up hot dog history, which is not very well documented. We know the sausages came to America with immigrants. Frankfurters from Frankfurt.
My mom worked
Wieners
at a Coney
from
Island
Vienna.
in La Crosse.
Now, it may have been at the 1893 Chicago World's Columbian Exposition that someone first put the sausage in a roll, although some say it was at the St. Louis Exposition.
You know, Bert,
in
I bet I'd be able to
1904.
find Five Guys at 2
Still
a.m.
others say Franks were first put in buns on Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York, perhaps as early as the 1870s, by a seaside vendor named Charles Feltman. He later had a restaurant, and one of his employees, Nathan Handworker, quit in 1916 to open his own stand, Nathan's.
Oh my god,
Again,
Nathan's
lots
hot
of
dogs are
folks
so
call the
good.
sausages hot dogs, but where that term came from is uncertain too. A newspaper cartoonist named Tad Dorgan helped make it part of the American language by putting hot dogs in his widely read cartoons in the early 1900s. Dorgan poked fun at a concessionaire named Harry Stevens, who often sold food at various arenas, including at the old Polo Grounds, where Stevens is sometimes credited with coining the term Red Hots. Who knows? There's just a long tradition of sausages sold by vendors at sporting events, especially baseball games.
There would be no game if you didn't have hot dogs. You gotta have
We'd
hot
have
dogs.
to give our tickets away.
Baseball and hot dogs go together.
Hot dogs! Hey, hot dogs! Hot dogs here!
In Cleveland, Ohio, at Jacobs Field on a hot June night,
Hot dogs! Hey, hot dogs!
Jason Earnhardt sells hot dogs wrapped in foil.
Oh my god, I want one.
Tonight, I'll probably sell between 360 and 400 hot dogs. So it's a good night. Hey, hot dogs! Hot dogs! How many? 3, please.
Here in Cleveland, you get local mustard with the dog.
Plain. It's better with that mustard. This is called Bertman's Ballpark.
It's custom blended. It's very special.
It's better than the regular yellow stuff.
As I tell people, it's got a little Jewish mother in it.
Pat Bertman Mazo now takes care of the mustard business that her father started.
They sacrifice
back in the
one Jewish
1930s.
mother for every batch.
It used to be said, the Indians stink, but the mustard is great. Well, the Indians don't stink, and the mustard's still the same, but the Indians have caught up with us. In fact, I think they may have surpassed us a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if they changed that team name. I don't know if that floats as well now.
Everybody says, oh, it's got a wonderful taste of horseradish, but it has no horseradish in it.
All I have to do is find the mustard and I'm in good shape.
The thing about mustard is that it's a fun product.
The ballpark mustard makes the hot dog.
What do you think of when you think of mustard?
I was enjoying this hot dog and I missed Mark McGuire's home run.
Think of hot dogs, you think of baseball games, amusement parks, fun.
Hey, hot dogs!
Yes, the hot dog business can be fun, but sometimes it's work. In the middle of the night in New York City, attorney Stephen Shaw is working on his website. He reviews local restaurants, fancy and not so fancy.
I love hot dogs. I think that they are one of the ultimate foods. And I think that you can't explain its popularity any other way.
Okay,
You can't
Peter
explain
Griffin.
The popularity of sausages the world over, than that they are activating more taste buds per square inch than almost any other kind of foods.
Stephen suggested we walk to the corner of 86th and 3rd, to Papaya King.
This is beautiful. I give it 4 stars. It's very well balanced. It's very harmonious. It's a temple of hot dogs.
A temple of hot
In some
dogs?
places, like here, the food is the decor and the people. I mean, that's one of the things about any restaurant.
Wait, the food is the people?
Also. And,
Are we eating the people? What are these hot dogs made out of?
Papaya King began
I demand answers.
as an open-air tropical fruit juice counter. A Greek immigrant named Konstantin, or Gus, Poulos, had stores in other parts of the country, but this one in Manhattan...
Is his name
what was
Constantine
then
or
a
Gus?
predominantly
Pick one,
German neighborhood,
not both.
may have been where Frankfurters came onto the menu around 1940. Gus's son, Peter Poulos, is the president of the company now.
It was in 1972 that my father decided to make a special Frankfurter, our own blend that nobody could have. So it's a combo of the quality of the meat, the casing, the spices, the smoking.
Wieners are literally part of my religion.
We have our own blend of mustard. So you put all these together, and they make one hell of a good Frankfurter.
Well, whatever they do, it works. And for $1.25, you get an all-beef dog that delights even a highly discriminating palate.
The casing offers just
This
the
guy
right
looks
amount
like
of
he
resistance.
discriminates against more than palates.
Kind of bite into it a little bit and then bang, you're in there with the hot dog. It's a very, very good hot dog. And then you got to cut that with a little papaya. It's a perfect combination.
Still, papaya drink with hot dogs sounds weird to everybody but New Yorkers.
But I guess that is the ultimate in fusion cuisine, the hot dog with the papaya.
Well, there are lots of places to get hot dogs in New York. Steven says the boiled dogs at the push carts aren't that good.
My favorite hot dogs are braised papaya. For 2 reasons. One, I think the hot dog is excellent, and everything about it, the hot dog, the bun, their choice of mustard, their sauerkraut, the temperature they keep their sauerkraut at, everything about it is just right. But also, the hot dogs are 50 cents. And I can't get past that when evaluating the difference between braised papaya and all the competition.
It's hard to watch it. It's hard to
I think the cost has a lot to do with it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Man,
there's
a
not very
50
much
cent
you can get
hot
for
dog
50
that
cents
tastes
in New York.
even halfway edible is...
Nicholas Gray started Gray's Papaya in the early 1970s
Hell yeah.
in imitation of Papaya King. He deals in volume.
I sell about 11,000 a day between the 2 stores, just over 4 million a year.
And they're just good here, I guess, because they've been cooking for a long time, and you can't beat $1 for lunch.
I bring my dates here every now and then. They get a little upset, but hey, it's good hot dog.
Sauerkraut makes the hot dog. I can't have it without.
Ketchup and mustard strictly.
Ketchup and sauerkraut is good. You guys have a good bun, too. Yeah. We go for everything, usually.
Just enjoy it. I really do. I'm a hot dog freak.
I'm not an authority, but they're very good.
Once in a while, I feel inextricably drawn. It's almost sinister.
As soon as I gather enough money, I come back here and I get more hot dogs.
Good job, buddy. You get those hot dogs.
Very good. A little hot. Very good.
Pretty good. Even so, for a good dog, many New Yorkers will still send you out to Coney Island, to the original Nathan's Famous. They sell 130 different foods now, even fresh clams. But Nathan's president...
Hey, you go to a hot dog restaurant, order clams, you deserve to be smacked.
Our hot
hot dog is 100% all beef. There are no fillers, and there's a casing on this hot dog, a special sheepskin casing that gives it a certain crunch and snap when you bite it.
You know, Nathan's opened in 1916, and I guess they really, make a good wiener, so.
Started from this corner right here.
Who gave the kid $20 to say that?
With $600, now we forget about it.
When I was little,
Forget about it.
it's 5 cents for a
I don't have the
hot dog.
accent. I can't do the thing.
Food is so authentic. It's got that Nathan's flavor, that Coney Island flavor.
And my husband tells me it's really not the best thing for me, but I don't care.
Yeah, tell your husband to shut the fuck up.
It's very good. Now I eat chili dog and cheese.
Well, they do specialize in dogs, so it really tastes good.
Well, this stand becomes the center of the universe on the 4th of July when Nathan sponsors the annual World Hot Dog Eating Championship.
Happy 4th of July! We come out here on the 4th of July, and it's a way to demonstrate how much you love your country.
It's a Nathan's
I don't know if-
tradition, now run by this clever
I feel like they'd all be wearing little red hats right about now.
Competitive hot dog eating season, I don't know if you follow the sport, begins on Memorial Day, and it ends here in Brooklyn. I would like to see by the year 2000 a spot in the Olympics.
I'm sorry, but you don't wear one of those boater hats unless your family owned other human beings at one point in the 1800s.
Stillwell Avenue on Coney Island. The crowd gathers early to see who will eat the most hot dogs in 12 minutes.
The animal karate.
It's like a free-form circus, with protesters too.
Nathan's Go Veggie!
Give peas a chance.
The competitors are introduced.
You know,
just
you can
before
get
noon.
pee from a different kind of
The whole thing
weenie.
is overblown,
You don't have to ruin it,
outrageous and
ruin
silly.
hot dogs for the rest of us.
It's all American.
Think about it. We're here on the 4th of July at high noon, 12 minutes. That's the patriotic epicenter of the year.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Contestants each get a pile of hot dogs. They can add mustard, but savoring the sausage doesn't seem to be a priority. The man they're all trying to beat is the defending champ, Hirohumi Nakajima, a tiny 23-year-old from Japan where he's won numerous noodle-eating contests. And in the crowd, there are fans who know the superstars.
I know the technique too. It's bite, swallow, do not chew. You separate the bun and the dog. You squish the air out of the bun. You go dog bun, dog bun.
It looks like you need a lot of concentration. You don't need a big belly for this.
The last 5 minutes is like, that's where dreams are made, realities are broken.
You got this.
With 19 Nathan's hot dogs and buns in 12 minutes, world record holder Hirohumi Nakajima.
The Wiener King!
That are non-American on the 4th of July should win the hot dog eating contest. I think it's appalling.
Surprising thing is the smallest guy won this competition.
Hot dog は年に1回ここに食べに来るのが
He eat hot dogs only once a year when he comes here at the contest.
And this, I believe, is the best, biggest, and supreme stunt in America.
I might be a competitor next year. I don't know. We'll see.
My
Even on the 4th,
hot
New
dog
Yorkers
championship
have to face the fact
nickname
that
would
the
be
world capital of hot dogs
Marina,
may be Chicago.
the hot dog wind tunnel.
They're like deep dish pizza. Like Pizza Hut didn't invent that.
A New York hot dog is a limp little weenie.
They got the Windy City. Like we don't have wind here.
On a skinny little limp bun.
Well, you know, Chicago, they put on everything.
With some mustard.
And actually, by the time you have the frank, you're not sure what you're eating.
And some kind of icky sauerkraut. That's it.
Hi, Kaiser.
There's no onion, there's no tomato, there's no relish, there's no hot peppers, there's no pickle, there's no celery salt. There's nothing there.
But in Chicago, you get all that, usually on a boiled dog in a steamed bun. And you know, there are more independent hot dog places here than all the area's McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger Kings combined.
Each place in Chicago is an original. They've got some very high concept of what they should be doing, and they do it.
Rich Bowen and Dick Fay are professors of psychology at Loyola University. And back in 1983, they wrote a now legendary book titled Hot Dog Chicago. They said we should meet them first at Bill's Drive-In, near the border between Chicago and Evanston.
I'm doing good, Kaiser. How are
Could this be
you?
the best hot dog place in the city?
It's like saying, who's the best human being on the face of the earth?
Me.
We're all
I'm the
different,
best.
right? The question is, what makes each of us distinctive? And so this ranks right up there. The hot dog here stands shoulder to shoulder with any other hot dog in the universe.
Bill's Drive-In opened in 1949. The original Bill's son, who's also Bill, works occasionally, but he's retired. His daughter Robin and her husband Rob Klitschko run the place now. They dress no dogs until they're ordered.
Well, every order is a special order. We ask every customer that comes in what they want on it.
What do you guys? If you guys get one topping for a hot dog, pick only one.
Well, this is a classic
The
Chicago
only
hot
topping
dog.
you can
It's a
have.
beautiful,
What is your
red
go-to?
tomato. This one has pickles on it, chopped onion, mustard. There should be some green relish in there somewhere. And then it's also got the hot sport peppers. In Chicago, adults love hot dogs, and they're made for adults. You know, spicy and full of adult tastes.
Yeah, because God forbid a children likes relish.
Bill's Drive-In is a low-key sort of neighborhood place.
Sauce does
Doesn't
count
call
as a
lot of attention
topping.
to itself. Unlike the Chicago
I think mine would be
landmark
like
known as Superdog.
mustard.
Superdog is on Milwaukee Avenue at the intersection with Devon and Nagel.
Preferably like a
It's the place with the two
spicy,
big wieners on top.
coarse
Wieners, it
ground
says so on
mustard.
the menu. Not a wiener, not a red hot, not a frankfurter. They're super dogs up there. If you'll clean up your language, we can continue.
Okay. Those super dogs on top of the building are known as Maury and Flory.
Those are
named for
terrifying.
The couple who has owned and operated this place since 1948. Maury Berman and his wife, Flo.
I love hot dogs. I just love them. Every day I eat a hot dog. And I think it has to do
Oh my God, Bert.
with the spicy, seasoned taste. Because I don't eat a hamburger every day. And I could.
They do make some great burgers here called Whooper Cheesies, but it's the super dogs that have been the prime attraction since the beginning.
Mustard, neon green relish.
Oh my God.
Ketchup being really an abomination. We will serve it, but we won't put it on. A slice of kosher pickle, a slice of pickled tomato, and served with our own French fries. So it's an entire package.
Damn, that
Fun
looks
little boxes
so
say
good.
stuff like, your super dog lounges inside, contentedly cushioned in super fries. And if you're lucky, the car hops will be on duty.
Every customer who comes and presses the button for car hop service is greeted. Hiya. Thanks for stopping. May I take your order now? Now that's standard.
It's standard but distinctive. One of those special touches that distinguish this place from all the other hot
Get
dog
this
joints.
child out of here.
Each place has got to have a great sign or a funny name or a cool location, like Demon Dogs on West Fullerton, that sits right under the elevated train tracks near DePaul University. Peter Chivarelli, who owns this place, serves relatively simply dressed dogs, but on weekends he employs a man in a tuxedo.
Make sure everyone gets a good seat by the window. Our early morning customers who come in on Saturday hungover can't remember where they saw this guy at, but you know they see a guy with a tuxedo or some maitre d' in a hot dog stand. I figured it's kind of a thing to make them start out their day in a good mood.
Peter also manages the rock group Chicago, and he's decorated with rock stuff. Also, Rich Bowen, that hot dog psychologist, brought his kids, who get their dogs with ketchup.
Ketchup. This is like there has to be something in the brain of the child that causes this phenomenon. Because as the child grows, at some point, I think in their teens, they finally bond with mustard. Like a switch goes off.
Well, ketchup or mustard, in Chicago it's easy to find one of the places called Portillo's. This one's in Downers Grove. It's a new building designed to look old and interesting.
and then I start eating
I don't want
garbage.
to get in your way here, Tom. Okay, all right, let me squeeze by here. How's the drive-through?
That's Dick Portillo. He owns 20-some hot dog places.
How you doing, Sunshine?
He
Why
began
are my
with one
commands
tiny
not
shop,
working?
no running water, back in '63.
Or do I just not hear them?
Good. How are you? Make sure you count that right.
I will too.
Now he has a huge hot dog empire. Is there some secret to all of this?
It tastes good. It's simple. You're looking for
Let me
this
try
big
it.
explanation. It's there's good hot dogs and there's bad hot dogs. And most
Oh.
of these people are
come out, and then
didn't
I
taste
just
good.
have my volume messed up.
Well, at Portillo's, as at most Chicago stands, the dogs themselves are from a company called Vienna Beef, founded in 1893. Jane Lustig, one of Vienna Beef's vice presidents, offered to show us how they make wieners.
We have a team of very skilled butchers, and they trim the fat off of briskets, which we use then inside our hot dogs. Our hot dogs are made from 100% domestic, fresh bull
God,
meat.
how
and
many
sweet
times a
roasted
year do you
trimmings.
think someone in this factory
And
cuts
those
their
ingredients
finger off?
will be ground, first like hamburger, then transported, seasoned, and ground again.
Those machines, those weird flying saucer machines.
Ah, so this
actually
is where my
take
penis
elements
went.
of our recipe, and they grind it down to a fine puree.
The puree is still
You think
raw
someone
and has to be
ate
put
my
in
hot
some
dog
kind of casing to hold
at
it
some
together
point?
while it cooks. Even skinless wieners at this point get a casing, often brightly colored.
Skinless hot dogs have a very uniform look. They're straight, and they're exactly the same size. Whereas a natural casing hot dog has
Oh my
irregularities
God,
in
I'm
its
gonna make
shape
a
and
hot
its
dog.
curve.
Natural casings are made from the linings of the intestines of a sheep. Sometimes they're hand measured and twisted into links. All the little raw sausages are eventually moved into huge ovens filled with hickory smoke until they're fully cooked. The natural casing wieners are ready to go, but the so-called skinless wieners have to have their fancy skins taken off.
The skin is removed with our hot dog skin removal machine, and it actually peels the hot dog from the plastic outer wrap and shoots it out like a bullet. Kind of cool.
It's totally cool. And you can
Hey
toss
guys,
these babies Chicago
new donation
style.
goal. Marina buys
Ready
herself
to
a
motor
hot dog
west,
launcher.
Only as far as Springfield, Illinois, you can see a totally different kind of dog, a cozy dog, at the Cozy Drive-In on Old Route 66. Buzz Waldmeyer has the kind of family-run place here that's good to find anywhere.
Cheeseburger basket up.
Buzz's father, Ed Waldmeyer, was one of the co-founders of the Cozy Dog House back in 1950. He had learned to make corn dogs in Texas while he was in the service. He made some
Any girls
improvements
wanna do
and
that
started
together?
calling them Krusty Curs.
When he brought the Krusty Curs back to Springfield, Illinois, my mother didn't like that name, so she came up with the name Cozy Dog. It sounded a little bit more pleasant.
And cozy dogs are what the Waldmeyers have been selling ever since.
I would say 90% of my business is local people who've been coming here when they were little boys and girls. And
Every time we come back to visit, this is where we
The
come
Cozy
first.
Cabin or whatever the fuck this place is called. Kind of
Here it's
gives
called
me the
Cozy
ick.
Dog. And I've been in town for less than a week, and I've been here 4 times already.
I can just remember coming.
Oh, delicious wiener! This is the best. I just love these Cozy Dogs.
People do develop affection for some of these sausages. And in Clifton, New Jersey, there's a definitely lovable hot dog place called Rutt's Hut. It's been a local landmark since the 1920s.
We used to come here in our high school days quite often. The hot dogs are great.
In the 50s, when I got my first car, this was the place to come with a date.
My parents made out in the parking lot at Rutt's Hut. This used to be a makeout joint.
And I thought it was quite different.
Now I sit in the car next to them and make out with my wife.
It was great.
And he got me introduced to hot dogs.
And this place...
Oh yeah, I bet he introduced you to his hot dog first.
Deep-fried hot dogs. Abe Rutt, the original owner, started to cook the dogs this way, but he sold the business in the 1970s to a new family.
We're all related. Is four families, actually. It's the Karageorgises, the Petropolakises, the Sakalarises, and the Chrysophenuses.
The crystal fetuses? What?
Usual?
Kept all the original recipes and traditions, including calling out the orders to the kitchen and the fryer.
2 by 2 the ducks. I heard a crowd. What bread you want?
Gus's sister, Calliope Chrysophenis, says the nicknames for the dogs here are just part of the Ruts Hut shtick.
A lot of the customers that have been around forever, when they come in, they already know the lingo, so they order it that way.
You don't come in here and order a hot dog. They give it to you raw if you order a hot dog. You gotta order a ripper.
They give it to you raw?
First drop them in the oil, and it first
I might need to
comes
come
up,
check
it's
out
what's
this hot
called
dog
a
joint.
In and outer. And it's cooked, but it's very, like, almost rare. Most of them, after a while, they all become rippers because the hot oil makes them rip open like this. And last but not least is the cremator, which is cooked through and through, super well done.
Ugh.
This is the
That
homemade
looks gruesome.
It's very famous. It's a secret recipe.
It's
What's
mustard.
What's the secret recipe? Baby barf?
But there's no question. People come back here for the rippers. And it's never too soon to start.
Customers just rant and rave.
This is my third one. I could keep going.
I had my grandfather's funeral some 10 years ago.
They come off the plane. I have to have a Ruts Hut hot dog.
If my wife knew I was here, she'd kill me right now.
You know they stopped.
Why did they actually? Would his? Is he okay?
We all joke about it.
Is his wife gonna actually kill him?
Grandpa would have wanted it that way.
Of course. Ruts Hut is obviously a beloved place in Clifton, and that's not unusual, even in a big city like Los Angeles. Richard Pink and his wife Gloria help run the place called Pink's.
Yo,
at the corner of
Pink's
Melrose and
fucking
La Brea in
slaps though.
Richard's sister, Beverly Wolf, also helps carry on the Frankfurter traditions established by their parents back in 1939, when Pink's started as a pushcart.
And, you know, they had hot dogs there for, I think it was 10 cents, and Cokes for a nickel, and people would drive up in front. And that's pretty much how it got started.
The secret is that the food tastes great. You know, it really is delicious. And also, there's a sense of history here. In Los Angeles, anything over 10 years is, you know, major news.
The counter here opens right onto the sidewalk, and Pink's has lots of hot dog possibilities.
Well, the famous thing is the chili dog. Chili dogs.
Mm-hmm. Those chili dogs are on another level.
The jalapeno dog, you see the long 12-inch hot dog.
And the Polish dog is meatier and very good, and I like it with the lettuce.
Sour cream and guacamole. It sounds like it wouldn't taste good on a hot dog. It's delicious.
You have to try that.
There's a nice patio out back where you can dine al fresco, but everywhere here is a place to be seen. People of some notoriety may show up at any time.
We're near about 4 different studios here.
I used to do the Jeffersons. I'm an actor. I played the character Marcus. I worked in the cleaners.
And a lot of struggling actors would come in, and they knew that directors and sometimes producers would come in here, so they started like hammering or tacking their own picture up on the wall.
In fact, Matt LeBlanc said when he made it big, his dream was to have his picture up on the Wall of Fame at Pink's.
When I was on the show, everybody used to tell me about Pink.
Do you know who holds the record for dogs? Orson Welles.
And all my friends were here, so, you know, and we conducted business here.
Guess, how many did he eat at one sitting?
What I like is there's no commitment involved with a hot dog.
18 at one sitting. Orson Welles. Is that fabulous?
And my dad would say, you know, Orson,
Man really likes
you're
his
gonna get
wieners in
happy if you eat all
his
these hot
mouth
dogs.
hole.
Then guess what? We're standing here, and this is not a setup. Ruth Buzzy just pulled up in her car. Ruth, I love you. You want a dog?
It's just a great place.
There's nothing better than a hot dog and a drink. You know, in the middle of the day, it's even if you're sneaking food, you know what I mean? It's a good sneak food.
This is the perfect video for me.
Go there 1:30 in the morning. And there's a crowd.
Yeah, no matter when you come here, there are people here.
Well, obviously it's people, not just celebrities, who make a hot dog place thrive. Sometimes an extra community service helps too. Just north of LA in Van Nuys, California, there's a smart little hot dog stand with a legal theme. It's called Law Dogs.
That's a usual stop on my day off.
Oh, I get the police dog, the mustard and sauerkraut.
Our popular dog is, you know, the judge dog, which is mustard, onions, and chili. And then you have our jury dog, which is mustard and onions. People like that too.
I hate this place.
Frank
The
Cadiani
theme
is only
sucks.
17. He wasn't born when this place was founded in the 70s by a lawyer who named the different dogs and who started the special service that people line up for on Wednesday nights.
That's our legal advice night. We have a lawyer who comes in and we
We have a lot of people come in for seeking advice, and it's a free consultation.
I have about 2/3 of my clients Spanish speaking and 1/3 are English speaking. Rich people, poor people, all kinds of walks of life. But really are aimed at those people who cannot afford legal advice.
Jesus Perez is a lawyer and part-time judge who since the early 1990s has been helping all kinds of people in the back of law dogs.
You have people who sue for...
Yeah, come around the back
dog
for a
bite,
free consult.
Who sue for back rent, people who don't want to pay rent.
I've stopped in a few times and had the hot dogs, but never had a need for the advice. Now I need the advice.
I prefer what he would tell me than looking at the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Because he shows me the right kind of
That's not, I don't know there's a body in the trunk of my car.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing? Fine. How are you? Okay, thank you.
A donor kebab?
Confidentiality rules.
No, I don't.
As if he were paying.
Don't think I have.
Giving it his free time for something as American as hot dogs, you know, and he's in the legal system. I said he's got to be all right.
Sometimes people laugh, and people cry, but they all get the answer. Somehow or another, I give them the answer.
Okay, for Winston. I knew you and I knew you were pleasure.
Heard someone say it's the American way, you know? It's like hot dogs and the Constitution, you know? It's like, it has a good fit.
Hot dogs fit all sorts of situations. And hot dog stands can be comfortable and accommodating in ways that other restaurants just can't. In downtown Macon, Georgia, on Cotton Avenue, New Way Wieners has been a place to meet and eat since 1960.
New Way Wieners.
It's as
Sounds
old as
like a
Nathan's.
trans
Jim One of
thing.
the 4 family partners who now own and run it. It's called New Way, but it's really old.
It's the kind of place that doesn't change much, which you can always depend on and count on to be the same every time you come.
Jim Cacavias is a cousin and a partner here.
It's really a time machine. You come in here and you would think you're in the 1940s.
But during the Depression, it was a mainstay because the chili dog all the way has kind of a way of staying with you throughout the day.
Oh, so I come here to just get immense bowel distress.
I think it's a combination of the chili and the actual hot dog itself.
I get slaw. Sometimes I get ketchup and mustard all the way.
It's like a real hot dog.
Real hot dog.
Red. I don't know where to get them from. They're red hot dogs. You can't get them from the store.
There is a red dye, government number so and so, and it's very safe, and it's always been on there.
The way things have always been is important here.
In any culture you look at, bread wrapped around the meat is a basic issue. For instance, I'm Greek, so I know about Greece. You have the gyro, which is the round pita bread around with stuff with meat and goodies on the inside. In America, it's the hot dog. And it tastes pretty good. I don't think anybody dislikes a hot dog, no matter where it comes from.
God, those chili dogs look like they slap. I'm gonna be real.
Also for Anderson, South Carolina, where there's an
I want to be
out-of-the-way
bred
hot dog place
too.
called Skin Thrashers in an old textile mill village.
If you go to business school, everybody talks about location, 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 huh? Well, this defines all business logic. It is off the beaten path.
If you ask anybody in the city of Anderson, they can get you there.
Skins Hot Dogs is a family business run by the 2 Thrasher brothers and their brother-in-law, Wayne Harbin. This place was a
Yo,
cafe and pool
bratwursts.
hall, according to Mike
Bratwursts are on a different level.
My dad started in 1946.
Good bratwurst with good mustard. Oh my
Actually, his
god.
name's Lloyd Thrasher.
All right, see ya, infrared.
Skin,
Bye.
who got his nickname after a boyhood
Mwah.
haircut, started making hot dogs that everyone said were extraordinary.
Some people say it's the buns because we put them on top. Some people say it's the weenie.
That's
Skin
the
used to say
weenie.
It was a combination of 3 things, you know, the chili, the bun, and a good weenie.
I mean,
You
a
can get
good
beer
weenie.
here too, limit 2, but that's not the beverage they sell most of.
The drink of choice here is Coca-Cola in a glass bottle, returnable bottle.
Small Coke. Small cup. Small Coke.
Always. The little bottles taste better, you know. 5 no mustard mayonnaise to go. 6 all the way to go. 2 chili dogs, no onion to go.
And if we're both lawyers, sort of like a ritual, we come here at least once a month.
Probably 2 or 3 times a week.
I can't hardly stand a week without them.
Why? Because they're good. They're easy, you know, you give them like that, you give them like 5 minutes, something fast. Texas Pete and a little salt.
That's it.
I'd probably eat some of the first ones he made.
These are the best.
That's so good.
If you'll get you one and try it, you'll see what I'm talking about.
I ate them keep up my appearance.
Well, how a hot dog looks and the style with which it's served are also important factors. Skins here is a bit unusual because they don't serve that most beautiful southern variation on the hot dog, the slaw dog. For a great slaw dog, you will want to head on to Columbia, South Carolina.
Man, I want to try a slaw dog. I don't think I've
Points,
ever had
you'll
one
find
before.
Frank's Hot Dogs, owned and operated by the Barco family since the early 1970s. Nowadays, 6 days a week here, Stephen Barco grills and serves some extraordinary wieners.
What I love about them is the natural casing. The natural casing.
Tastes just like a real
I like it
man's
It's the
cock.
best dog in town. I mean, there's some other good dogs. They got a funky chili too. It's not quite as.
It's a little tougher. It's got a little snap to it.
They got a crunch to them.
They're tough. Tough dogs.
Kind of goes.
Just even got a vegetable on top of it. You're set.
Coleslaw. Now that's really a southern thing, I think. And it's a real treat. Northerners should catch on.
I get a slaw dog, no onions. I like the onions, but I deal with the public.
I don't know what, it must be the chili.
Whatever. If it's during the day around here, Stephen takes care of the business.
How many? One?
His father, Frank Barco, has retired, but 4 days a week, Frank moves a little trailer into a parking spot across the street where he sets up the late-night Frank's Hot Dogs. Here, he caters to cops, cab drivers, and college kids from the University of South Carolina who carouse around here.
We have a few wild ones every once in a while, but most of them are good.
And, well, one thing that I like about them is I feel like they're not as fattening as hamburgers. You know.
I'm looking for the good stuff. You know, the good stuff
Hey,
like my mom. 'Cause
sweetie, newsflash.
man. Think I got my mom?
You're eating a hot dog.
You just like to stand around with a hot dog, but you're
It's
not
not gonna be healthy.
Sure.
Oh, she really attacked. She went right in like that. She was ready. She's just like,
Covers you up. Then you might be able to drive off.
My college years would not be significant if Frank were not a part of them.
When we get ready to close late night, and all the bartenders know, we call it the $5 bag. Anything we got left over, we fix them a $5 bag. About $8 worth of food for $5.
what?
It's good. I mean, my father and my family has made a decent living by selling hot dogs, whether it be 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the morning.
It's getting bigger and bigger all the time. I tell you, my business is growing all the time.
That's pretty damn good.
Hot dogs and good times work well together, and you can bet that sometimes size does matter. In Las Vegas, on the Strip, there's a very small casino called Slots of Fun, where the hot dogs are famous.
I've got a slot of fun.
Big, humongous. We've never seen a hot dog this big before.
In Germany, the hot dog is little, and in Las Vegas, it's big, it's beautiful.
Give me one of those big Las Vegas dogs.
Well, these are 1/2 pound hot dogs. They're all meat, and we sell about 800 a day.
One of them is usually plenty. Ben Spidell, who's vice president and general manager here, says Slots of Fun has to compete with the big places for hungry gamblers.
And Slots of Fun's too small to have a big buffet, so we had something different somewhere, something not found just anywhere.
Where else can you get a hot dog like that for 99 cents on the Strip?
Biggest hot dog in the world.
It's huge.
I generally start with the mustard. I don't know why.
Hey, that's the best thing in Las Vegas.
Well, we've been coming up here for 35 years.
So we always come here to have our hot dogs.
Ketchup on this side.
We take a flight out of Phoenix. It takes us an hour to get up here and an hour to register.
Onions on the top.
Onions and sins and ketchup.
And that's the first thing we head for is this, because it's a full-blown meal.
It is huge. We divide it. We take one of these and 3 of us split it.
The bigger the better.
They're just great. I mean, they taste good.
And they're only 99 cents too.
You can't get anything better and cheaper, and I'm cheap.
Yeah, I can tell by your teeth.
Or relish.
Chili and cheese.
Super. Oh my goodness.
Middle of the night, it doesn't matter. They get their hot dogs whenever they want.
It is our loss leader. We do not make money on this hot dog.
I had one last night.
It didn't make me sick, so it's good.
Damn, the bar is flush with the floor for that guy.
Some people, oh my God, because they're so large.
Yeah!
She like, this is like my boyfriend's weenie.
Las Vegas! Bye!
Well, if you're leaving Las Vegas, heading north, remember, a hot dog cart can be a warm and profitable place. On the first Saturday in March, a cold winter morning in Anchorage, Alaska, Michael Anderson sets up his little hot dog stand because that's the day people come to see the start of the great sled dog race called the Iditarod. Michael, who's known as M.A., sells hot dogs here on 4th Avenue every day during the summer.
lines everywhere.
Oh, thank you, Kaiser.
Iditarod is running. Dog sleds are running. He only comes out twice in the winter time.
You open a hot dog place, what would you name it?
There's thousands and thousands of people in
Weenie Harbor.
You can have a hot dog and you get warmed up.
My regulars that haven't seen me all winter
And it would,
are excited.
you'd have little sailboat hot dog weenies.
Dogs in. What's the temperature?
It's not that bad. You know, you layer up and you're moving so fast.
Or maybe Wiener Beach and put those little, like, martini umbrellas in them.
The street is full of teams of dogs. Their drivers are known as mushers. And the smell of onions and sausages cooking on the cart makes every creature nearby salivate.
Probably 10-20% of my customers are mushers or handlers. Yeah, they appreciate a good dog.
Participant in Iditarod 27, the last great race on Earth, on his way to the famed Rural Arches of Nome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
The start of the race lasts about 2 hours, with 2 minutes between each of the teams. And standing there, watching the dogs take off in their protective booties, you can develop a special appreciation for Alaskan-made sausages, often with exotic ingredients.
Reindeer.
Genuine reindeer.
Yo, reindeer meat.
Is actually domesticated caribou.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Spicy. They're just really good, juicy. A little gamey. A little more spicy.
I didn't ask if it was reindeer.
I wouldn't say it's too wild.
I've had a kangaroo hot dog.
Michael has been working this Iditarod day of winter fun since 1992. But you know, he really makes his living here on the sidewalk in the summertime.
It's like a show, 5 days a week. You know, I do 5 shows a week. It starts at 11, ends at 4. It has really, really given me the opportunity to do world traveling, to write my own schedule. You know, working 5 months out of the year, I just couldn't, I can't imagine a better life. I mean, it's good. It's very good for me.
You know, hot dogs are simple food, but they can have an amazing effect on lots of people. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the part of the city called Oakland, you'll find the original hot dog shop, sort of right in the middle of the University of Pittsburgh. Students here have lots of names for the original, but the most common is simply the O. If you want an O dog, you order it standing at the front counter.
Ketchup and relish on the one.
We wait on people who we see first, but generally it's the person with the loudest mouth that gets waited on first, you know. I was next.
The O is famous for its natural casing dogs, but its French fries are extraordinary too.
Are they gonna make me have an O?
A man named Sid Simon opened the O in 1960.
Oh, thank you, Anarchy. I'll check it out.
Says its success is based on fast, fresh food.
You see it being made right in front of you. It's big portions and quality and fattening. And
you ever seen a large, extra large fry, the original? You can feed a family of 6.
I just can't believe there's a bigger size of French fries than this is.
But the first time I ever came here, it's like...
Spent his entire allowance on that table worth of fries.
Let's put it this way. If I get an order of fries for myself, he can eat it with me, and he can eat it with me, and we're still not going to eat it all up.
So they
Jesus.
bring this huge thing of fries, and I'm like, there's only me. There's just me that's going to eat these.
A large. And there's a super large.
Yo, Leah, you wanna fuck up those fries?
Everybody knows
I bet we could do it.
Oh, Dirty O's a nickname.
My wife definitely called it that.
The Dirty O, the original, the spot. Come down here, you meet girls when you were younger, you know. Now you bring your wife, your kids, your grandkids. Yeah. It's a tradition, man. It's great.
Probably half of it's tradition and the rest of it's really good hot dogs.
I don't know. I like hot dogs.
We came all the way from North Carolina, actually.
I love hot dogs.
When I was coming up younger, in grade school, we used to smell the hot dogs.
I can't tell my age, but since I was a little girl.
Yup, every day. Every day. Open the windows, the hot dogs and french fries. We couldn't wait till lunchtime to come out here and get them.
My husband, we both went to Pitt 15 years ago, so we're seeing if we still like the same things on them. And they are still as good as then. Excellent.
It's like the center of the universe and everybody.
Sorry, Kaiser. Leah and I are two big ladies. We need all of our French fries for nutrition.
Like this that everybody can come to.
You're welcome to WOD.
Find out different people's opinions about things.
And they all get along and it works. That's like an important place to have. So.
This is a good melting pot right here.
And there's not a lot of places like that.
I love it, as you can tell.
I'm happy.
Let's face it, a hot dog will do that, make you happy. It's a food with more than just nutrition and calories.
I think hot dog is like part of the fabric of America. It really is.
It's just a hot dog. You know, it's American.
You have your certain hot dog that you grew up with, and that's the one you love.
You probably have hot dog places all over, and there's
I used to not like hot dogs.
And I think
I used to think that the meat tasted icky, like bologna.
Hot dogs everywhere help define a sense
now,
of place.
I'll eat hot dogs all the time.
Give us unique, informal, classless meeting places.
Sometimes I make my own. Whenever Cosmo makes chili,
no matter what you put on top of these
I'll
sausages,
make my own chili
they seem to
dogs.
satisfy something more
I've
than
even
mere
tried putting
hunger.
curry on them before.
They're
That's really
snacks,
good. Putting
guilty
mac and
pleasures,
cheese on them is good.
Maybe as close as we'll ever get to a national dish.
And I don't know, it's just like something that, you know, I think we all grew up with. And they taste good.
Hell yeah, that
Hot dogs are easy. I mean,
hot dogs are easy, and so is me.
Cheap date. Couple of hot dogs and the root beer.
It's crisp on the outside, juicy on the inside.
I like the nitrates, the BHT, the preservatives.
You throw on the chili sauce on top of it, and you've got the king of hot dogs.
you had hot dogs when you were like growing up since you were little.
All right,
I don't know if they're very nutritious.
that was pretty good. Do you guys like that? I can get more stuff like this.
Lynn's mother-in-law as I could fall in the dog. Heads, teeth, nobody knows what's in here.
I think it's mostly an impulse item.
And also, a lot of these people are here on the slide. A dog's a dog, you know. I mean,
Thank you, Kaiser.
A Hot Dog Program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by annual financial support
All
from
right.
viewers like you.
This is PBS.
Let me see. Trade. Rob Roman's voice. All right, guys. I would stream longer, but part of the stuff from my doctor is that I need to be getting better sleep and winding down earlier in the night. So I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna go get ready for bed and get some sleep. We're gonna raid Rob Roman's voice, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see. I might go see Sydney. Oh, there we go. All right, love you guys. Be good. Bye.